Welcome to the party. Crypto has just flipped. Is it time to go long? Is it time to go short? What the hell's going on in Iran? What's going on in the charts? What is the big news? Because it's crazy news today, man. It's such a paradox right now in crypto, seeing all this big news come through, and yet prices, man. Prices. Bitcoin still about 100K. We did dip a little bit under over the weekend. We got a lot to cover. Okay. Let's get into it. Answering your questions second half of the streams. Make sure you stick around for the good times. Obviously, very important news to start off with. Up is down. Cats are dogs now. Leonardo DiCaprio is ending his under 25 dating rule, the 27-year-old model. Times are changing, guys. Times are changing. You think crypto's rough. Anyway. The serious stuff, okay? Bitcoin CEO announces price to increase soon. Let's go. Okay, no, very serious, somber shit now. Look, it's been a crazy weekend. You probably knew, okay? We were talking about this on Friday. The Seymour Hersh article that the strike to hit Iran's already been decided. It went down exactly as he said it was going to go down over the weekend to minimize impact on markets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's exactly what they did. They hit Iran's nuclear sites. Apparently no one was killed. Iran had already evacuated the nuclear sites. So tension's very high right now. Yesterday, Iran was threatening to close the Straits of Hormuz, which is about 200 kilometers up the coast here, by the way, saying that, well, you know, we're pissed off, essentially. And Southern Stacker, Iran launched a nuke and hit my Bitcoin portfolio. I know Donald Trump bombed Ethereum over the weekend, not just Iranian nuclear sites. Brutal, man. Anyway, they threatened to close the Straits of Hormuz. They didn't close the Straits of Hormuz, so I guess we got that going for us right now. A lot of tension. Things are very uncertain at the moment. Strikes are continuing between Iran and Israel. New reports coming in about new strikes happening. We're going to share those momentarily. Russia, China, and Pakistan, Iran's three key allies, proposing draft UN Security Council, calling for immediate unconditional ceasefire in the Middle East. Obviously, that requires the Americans and the Israelis to get on board with, which let's see. And of course, now Iran actually has to back down too, and their three key allies need to make them back down. U.S. urges China to dissuade Iran from closing the Straits of Hormuz. Hilarious. I mean, come on. America bombs Iran. They're like, oh, shit, they might close the Straits of Hormuz and send oil prices rocketing. It's where 20% of the world's oil goes through, by the way. Yeah. Georgia, I agree. Iran can't close off its own oil route without screwing China, who buys 90% of their oil. True. However, Chinese reserves currently at all-time highs, apparently. So I don't know how long China can skip by on their supplies, but something to factor in as well. Anyway, China, of course, has an interest in not seeing the Straits close. I think everybody has interest in not seeing the Straits close. So for now, nothing has happened. However, things could be happening. U.S. Embassy in Qatar issues message to U.S. citizens recommending they shelter in place until further notice. Don't know what that means exactly, but okay. Scary. Iran reports an American military base in Syria was attacked. News story unverified. Okay, so things could be happening. Let's see. Mert saying, threat nuclear war, all bags, nuking dystopian AGI future. But just remember, no matter how bad things look right now, they'll almost certainly get much worse. Thanks for that, buddy. Ay. I shared this earlier. The market continues to not believe that World War III is coming or that the Iranians will actually close the Straits of Hormuz. Don't listen to the words coming out of the mouths of the talking heads on TV. Watch what the money is actually doing. Okay? What are markets actually doing? Now, of course, crypto, because it's open 365, 24/7, got to absorb all the bullshit on a low liquidity Sunday, as always is the effing case. Sometimes I envy those TradFi investors. Monday to Friday, no bank holidays. They thought about it. Like, screw it, we're rich. Why do I need to trade on a Saturday? Just close the markets. Don't need to deal with it. But I think 365, 24/7 stock trading is coming too. Sorry, Wall Street bros. You're going to be addicted to your phones all the time too. Currently, again, world ending. World War III is about to start. Nuclear Armageddon. Currently, Stock market futures are slightly in the green. They've been slightly more in the green earlier today when this news came out about potentially some strike against the U.S. military base in Syria, blah, 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 blah. Okay, sure. They came back down a little bit, still in the green. So we've gone up down from 0.3% up to only 0.7% up, still about 3% away from new all-time high for the S&P 500. So this isn't exactly screaming World War III Armageddon kind of shit, is it? Oil only up about 1% today. If the market truly believed that Iran was about to close the Straits of Hormuz, we'd be up more than 1% right now. Okay? No one believes them. No one believes them. And maybe they do it. And the markets absolutely puke. Stocks puke. Oil surges. So far, it hasn't happened. So far, Wall Street is saying bullshit on World War III and closing the Straits of Hormuz. Dan Ives said the market will view this Iran threat as now gone after the nuclear facility is blown up. And that's positive growth for the broader Middle East and ultimately tech sector. It'll take some time for the conflict to settle. There'll be back and forth exchanges between Israel and Iran, and maybe some, empty U.S. bases get blown up in Syria or Iraq. Why America has bases in Syria and Iraq is a whole different question. One that goes beyond the scope of what we talk about in this on these live streams. Anyway, the market will view the worst is now in the rearview mirror. Expect stocks up. Let's give some money away. That's all depressing shit. Let's give some money away, guys. That'll be fun. Thanks to the guys over at BitUnix, of course, for giving away $1,000 every Monday to Friday during the live streams. That could be you. 2 people get $500. Now, in case you're not on the BitUnix train yet, you need to get on the BitUnix train. Best damn trade in place in crypto. Best exchange. I'm doing most of my trading over there these days. Want to trade the big majors, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, they got you covered. Deep liquidity and all that stuff. You want to trade exotic meme coins? They got you covered, man. They got the stinky hippo coin. They got your dead squirrel coin. They got you sorted, okay? They got the fart coin. The fart coin, man, the new paradigm money. No KYC, no VPN. That means anybody, anywhere in the world, that's you. You're anybody, anywhere in the world. You're somebody, okay? You're not just anybody. You can use BitUnix. Now, $2,000 in trading bonuses. Nice. $400 in deposit bonuses. That's up to. So you have to deposit $2,000 to get the $400 deposit bonus. $1,000 to get $200 back too. It's pretty good. And giving away money in the live stream. So let's do that. Right now, we have all the people in from the weekend. So we have 375 entrants. We'll have a new list starting from tomorrow. So we have signs up today. We'll be on the new list tomorrow. So let's have Grok help us out here. Help us out, Grok, buddy. Of course, exclude anybody under $10. $10 or under. There we go. 217, 342. 342. $101. That's nice. Nice. Okay, that was 342, right? Let's double check that. Yes, 342. So user ID 791-778-194. Congratulations. You just got $500 put into your account, buddy. Nice. Put in $101, got $500 back. So you get your $20 deposit bonus, right? You get $500 back on top of that. Boom. Nice. Of course, we're using user IDs, guys, because we're not sharing email addresses. That goes against the point of no KYC, no VPN exchange. We'd be exposing your privacy. So it's just about user IDs. That's user ID. You got to go check if that's your user ID. If it is your user ID, you claim it in the My Rewards section. Okay, you have to go claim it. The guys will put it in the account like tomorrow. We're like literally using a spreadsheet here, right? So give them a few hours to put it in there for you, but they'll get it put in for you, okay? And the other winner was 217. 217. Here. Nice. Another good winner. Look at this guy, over doubled his money. Put in $215, got $500 back. Crazy. Congratulations to the winner. 2 people. The winners, $500 each. Come back tomorrow. We're giving away another $1,000. Okay, so what do we have to do here? Currently, by the way, I've got a trade open on virtuals. We'll see, though. I guess if I'll probably close, or that will get closed out. It's relatively tight stop loss. This is just based on the idea that it is attempting to reclaim the 200-day EMA. If it gets rejected here, I'm out. If it takes it out and pushes higher, I'm in. Let's see how it goes. Raul Powell sharing this. Bitcoin, global M2. Now, as he says here, nothing's unusual. Please do not expect all the wiggles to match or all the timing points to be exact. It's overall contextualization. This is what I keep saying about it as well. The global M2, don't look for the exact tiny nuances, okay? It's a general trend. Rising tide that lifts all boats, money's entering the system. Here's the question. How much whiff did you buy yesterday? I still don't know. I've not taken a whiff position. I got Pengu and I've got Pepe. Those are my big meme coin bets right now. I have a few very small cap meme coins now. They probably just go to zero. I did make some pretty dramatic moves yesterday, though. I decided, I'm cutting my Sonic bag finally. Should have done it earlier last week. Anyway, cut my Sonic bag and flipped that into Solana, salami coin. Still think salami coin has a great narrative with the ETF coming up, okay? Woke up and first thing I did was buy Tau. Let's go, Nicole. Lark gets paid not to talk about Tau, though. Yep, that's true. It's true. Getting paid super well. Super well. Nice. Tau's a very popular coin. People love that coin, don't they? You got Chamath Palihapitiya out there shilling it for you guys. I mean, who needs Lark to talk about it when you have Chamath? Come on. Come on. Anyway, global liquidity is going up here, guys. Continuing. Hasn't stopped, by the way. I mean, it hasn't been any major pullback on this. It just keeps grinding up and to the right. Okay? FYI. Milk Road shared this. Bitcoin sentiment just hit a multi-month low. Retail is out. But look closer. Every time the ratio tanks, smart money steps in. Every time, guys. Every time. Now, look. Bitcoin wicked under 100K yesterday. We got to 98,300 approximately, let's say. Lost the 50-day EMA. Now, remember, the breakdown target from this triangle is actually sort of this lower 90K range. So 93, 94 is not out of the question. Now, we are in a very much headline-driven market right now. And any hint of de-escalation on what's going on in Iran right now will probably pump markets. And again, stock markets are largely calling bullshit on World War III, closing Straits of Hormuz and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, if the situation changes, markets will react pretty dramatically. So far, so good, let's say. So, lost the 50-day EMA, which I don't love. 200-day EMA becomes the most likely downside scenario, okay? Most likely downside scenario was that we'd find strong bid in the sort of 92, 93K zone. Obviously, you lose that. That's a different conversation, but I feel like this is a good zone to bid if things get worse. However, if we recover the 50-day, which is only $2,000 above us, we start going back up, okay? That's around $103,000. So we need a daily close back of $103,000 to get us grinding back to the upside here. Okay, guys? That's what we're watching out for. And we had huge announcements today for the Bitcoin Treasury companies. This is nuts. So Parataxis Holding acquires South Korea's Bridge Biotherapeutics for $18.5 million, aiming to launch an institutionally backed Bitcoin Treasury platform in Korean public markets. Good. Good, new one. Publicly traded Panther Metals plans to buy 4 million pounds of Bitcoin for its treasury. Not bad. It's like 6 million US or something like that. That ain't bad, man. Let's go. Every buyer adds up, okay? It's fine. It's fine. Great. Norway's Green Minerals. Check this out. They announced $1.2 billion capital raise to buy Bitcoin. Literally in one day, 3 new Bitcoin treasury stories in one day. It just keeps happening. Thousands of companies around the world with so much money, it's not even funny. And we see these capital raises. And again, this is going to be the toxic leverage on the way up. It's going to push Bitcoin to $250,000. And when shit goes down, it's going to go down bad. All these companies start what's the old saying is that when the water goes out, you find out who's been swimming naked. A lot of these Bitcoin treasury companies will have unpayable debts, fraud, rehypothecation. God knows what's going to go on in the background. I'm not saying I'm not like talking about like MicroStrategy, for example. They're like the gold standard of Bitcoin treasury companies. I'm talking about some of these new players launching. There's going to be some real bullshit going on out there, okay? By the way, I guess I haven't bought it yet because U.S. market's not open, but I put in an order to buy Semler Scientific, which I feel is an undervalued Bitcoin treasury company in the USA. I feel like it's getting crowded, though, the whole Bitcoin treasury trade. And also SBET. So that's the Ethereum treasury company. It had a giant correction in its price and perhaps now becomes an interesting bet. Not stock advice, obviously, just telling you what I'm doing with my money. Look at this, man. These are just some of the recent announcements. Look at this. MicroStrategy, all these different companies, and they're big targets for buying Bitcoin. Now, like Metaplan wants to buy 210,000 Bitcoin by 2027. Do they do that? Can they achieve that? I don't know, but shit if they do. That's crazy. AltBG. What the heck is the name of that company? Anyway, it's that French company has been buying Bitcoins. Alliance. but it doesn't matter. They want to buy 210,000 Bitcoin, okay? There's simply not enough Bitcoin for all the corporate treasury buys. And this isn't even all of them. It's just some of the big ones. Way more are coming, okay? Eric Balkunis and Jeff Seifert are raising the odds for the vast majority of spot crypto ETF filings to 90% or higher. Engagement from the SEC is a very positive sign in their opinion. 95% odds right now for Litecoin, Solana, and XRP. So let's talk about those. XRP currently at $1.99, just below $2 here. You know, we had this back here too, where we lost the 200-day EMA for 3 or 4 days and then bounced back above. That is what XRP needs to see right now, okay? That is what needs to happen right now. So let's see. Let's see if it plays out. But when we get back about the tour today, I think that's when things become interesting. Now, for me, I'm going to try, anyway, throw a bid in here at the 200-day. I don't know what happens between here and there, but if we get a sudden surge in the market for something positive happening, and we'll see U.S. stock futures slightly in the red now. If we get something positive happening here, then I think it's a potential play worth making. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm sorry I haven't had time to make a short trading video today, trying to do a whole bunch of stuff before we take a little time off. Well, take a little time off. Still be making videos, but maybe fewer videos during the summer. Anyway, where did it go? Here, open orders, trigger order. So I'm putting an order for 210. 210 is the buy price here, which is just above the 200-day EMA. Okay, with a stop loss at 207 and a take profit target of 230 for this particular trade here. So that requires, of course, the price to move back up significantly. Okay, so we're watching out for. So let's see if that plays out or not. Litecoin here sitting right at the bottom of this support trend line here. Wicked below on the last 2 days, but we've gotten a lot of nice touches right along this line, currently sitting right on it. I don't love that all the EMAs are trending down. 200, not very strong, but not looking super strong right now. For me, Litecoin, I think, becomes more interesting at like $85, which is going to be a reclaim of the 20-day EMA. Yellow line on the chart here. I think that's where Litecoin gets interesting. But Litecoin ETF trade still in play. Still in play. I know we have some shitty macro stuff going on. I know that tensions are very high in the Middle East right now, and that the market's not sure how to absorb this or if it's going to spread into something bigger. And as I like to say, guys, if nuclear war happens, the price of your crypto coins isn't really going to matter. Okay? Because we're all going to be dead. Say la vie. Except the guys in New Zealand. They move back to New Zealand if World War III breaks out. You never know. Missiles start falling, flights get canceled. It's over. Game over, man. Game over. Anyway, Litecoin, I think, interesting at a breakout of the 20-day EMA. I mean, you could try from here on this bottom trend line here as well. It's not a bad risk-reward play, but I'm not sure it's the strongest area, let's say, to be hoping for price resistance in. But yeah, I could see that too. Longing from here with a stop just down here. So it's about $80 right now. Stop at like 78 or something like that would also kind of make sense. But I think the better trade to be when this actually starts showing some strength and we get back over the 20-day EMA. Psychedelic sharing this. This is the best window we've had to buy altcoins in years. The altcoin index now at the lowest level in 3 years, other than the very bottom of the 2022-2023 bear market. As you can see from this index, when the altcoin index reaches these levels, when it's not in a bear market, which we're not, it's very short-lived. This combined with Bitcoin dominance hitting 66% provides a truly incredible opportunity. With Bitcoin dominance at the top of an 8-year channel and alts at peak lows, we very, very rarely ever get this kind of environment set up. Altcoins have been getting kicked in the balls and have sucked bad recently. I know. I've been holding some of those altcoin bags, guys. I get it. I get it. However, as long as World War III doesn't break out, opportunities there, man. Ivan on Tech shared this. Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz. Tether. Let's print $2 billion, baby. Let's go. Love it. Guys, if you're not in our Facebook group yet, go check it out. Link down below in the description here. Okay, you can come in. We're sharing charts there. You can share charts as well, ask questions, all fun kind of stuff. Go check it out. Link down below in the description. Solana, the ETF trade, baby. It's coming. Wave public companies accumulating Solana Treasury asset continue to grow. Everything Blockchain is the latest to join, announcing plans to deploy $10 million across Solana XRP, Sui, Tau, and Hype. I mean, man, we are just going full on like crazy altcoinery here, aren't we? This is nuts. Literally, you have a company here that's going to buy $2 million of 5 different altcoins, not just Solana, of course, but that's crazy, man. Crazy. We literally have companies that are just going to start just blasting so much money. Crazy. Has it ever been addressed how Lark always has exactly one unread DM on his Twitter? It's always just that one guy I gotta leave unread, man. I get paid not to talk about say why it's been so volatile the past week. Val, the market's been volatile the past week. I think there was that positive news around the Wyoming stablecoin thing, and then, you know, shit started happening. Thanks, Israel. Thanks, America. Jeez. Anyway. Solana leads pack with 604 million new wallets created year to date, almost 2x all the other chains combined. That's insane, dude. That's insane. Joe McCann here sharing Solana is the infrastructure response to this. Solana's economy booming, $1 billion plus in app revenue for 2 straight quarters, 3,200 monthly active developers, 800 million in quarterly validator revenue. That's crazy, man. And yet, the price of Solana. Come on, Solana. Salami coin. What are you doing here, buddy? What it's doing is being in a damn downtrend. Okay? What do we have here? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Let's call that lower low. It's technically a lower low. Lower high, lower low by some measure here. Look, I bought some Solana yesterday. It's not showing a huge amount of strength in the current situation. And yes, there's a lot of fear and tension and uncertainty in markets right now, which is not helping anybody do anything, is it? However, Solana ETFs coming, Solana treasury companies, the charts, the charts, not the on-chain metrics, the fundamentals of Solana are so insane. How's this thing not get bid up at some point? So we added some more. That's what we're doing. We're adding some more, man. And if it goes down, I'll add some more. Screw it. Screw it. Get rich or die in nuclear war trying. You know what they say, guys. That's a saying, right? Anyway, 20-day. If you're looking to just trade XRP Solana, watch for that 20-day EMA reclaim, which right now is around 147. So that's when, okay, we're going to start showing some actual strength in this asset again. So we'll see. This downtrend could last longer than people expect, but expect also that if we get some strong signs of de-escalation, ceasefire, whatever it might be, markets rip, okay? So these downtrends can be broken out of real fast, okay? So just FYI. Okay, that's it. That's it. We made it. 23 minutes, not bad, Lark. Almost a new record. Okay. Red light hats on. Hydrate. Let's do Q&A. Daniel 2Stack, what's up? So, will we have an extended cycle or 4-year cycles? No more. All the money's going to Bitcoin and dominance over altcoins readjust. Well, look, obviously in the crypto market, whenever something bad happens, everybody flees to Bitcoin, right? Will we have an extended cycle? I think there's a very strong possibility for that to happen. Obviously, it remains to be proven. If the 4-year cycle is true, then Bitcoin tops sometime between October and December of this year at 180 to 250K, and that's it. Game over. If we get a new high at any point in 2026, then the 4-year cycle's finished. And I have a feeling like the 4-year cycle may be done, because I feel like we're probably more going to follow along now with stock market cycles. Your average stock market cycle lasts 5 to 6 years. Your average bull market. So the current bull market for stocks started in 2022, and it would then end in 2027, 2028 even. Okay. Lark, be careful. Flight trackers show planes are avoiding airspace over Iran, Iraq, and Israel, Dubai, and areas on the southern side of the Gulf. I haven't seen that yet, but I'll, definitely keep up to date here. John, thanks for the update. You never know. A lot of uncertainty going on right now. Doesn't feel fantastic being 200 kilometers away from the Straits of Hormuz and southern Iran, but you know, shit. Come on, America. I always gotta be starting shit, man. Anyway, the tomahawks whistling over your head wake you up. No, that happened like 1,000 kilometers from here, but you know, too close for comfort, let's say. Time to move to the Philippines, no foreign income tax. I like the Philippines, very beautiful place. What can we expect the top 100 to do if Bitcoin goes to 250K? Well, finally do something. Look, if Bitcoin goes to 250K, ETH goes to 10K, Solana goes to 1,000, and a lot of the other sort of top 100 coins do pretty well. Not all of them, but a lot of them are going to do pretty well. Obviously, over the recent months, Bitcoin's shown a lot of strength, and there's been some coins that have staged halfway decent recoveries. But the problem is Bitcoin didn't fall very far compared to altcoins, so when it recovered, it didn't have as far to go to hit a new all-time high of $112,000 where we got up to. Whereas altcoins went down dramatically, and most of them had nice rallies, but they are still ages away from all-time highs. Problematic. Do not fear, Lark. You'll soon be liberated. Freedom's coming, baby. Freedom's coming. Sounds like you should go on vacation. Ironically, we're going pretty soon, but yeah, Dubai is the Swiss of the Middle East. They won't be attacked. Depends on if Iran starts hitting U.S. air bases or not. There are military bases here in the UAE, but basically every country in the Middle East has them. So I feel like, though, they'll probably hit Syria and Iraq because, you know, everyone just kind of shits on Iraq and Syria anyway. So what's some more bombs on those countries? Can't we just have peace? Why is this so difficult? Yeah, I saw they moved their uranium. They moved their uranium. They moved the uranium. I saw that. I think there's a theory going around that this is all because there were a bunch. Remember, we talked about the diplomatic planes flying to Oman a few days before the strikes came. What if this was all orchestrated? Right? U.S. kind of quietly signals, "Look, we're going to hit your nuclear sites. Nothing you can do about it. But you know, why don't you just move your stuff out of there and you know, we'll hit your sites, then we'll sit down, negotiate, we'll call Israel off, and you know, a few days, you guys can threaten to close the Straits of Hormuz a few times, make yourselves feel good, hit a few empty air bases in Iraq and Syria to get us back, and then we'll all just chill out and make a deal, and yeah, we'll see. The owners will, I know. Where is that? The owners of the world don't want peace. I know. They want chaos and pain and suffering. The world is, you know, it's like my mom always used to say, the world's run by satanic pedophiles. It's fucking true. Yeah, that's right. No radiation's been detected in the Middle East here, so that's good. It's all a show. Yeah. Say losing trend right now. Oh, let's look at a crypto chart, man. Let's do that. That sounds like fun. Let's look at a crypto chart. Well, we have two stocks correcting back a little bit more. Virtual's probably going to get stopped out. Bitcoin back down a little bit. Right. Say USD. I mean, this is the thing is it's crazy because stocks just keep getting crazy biz, man. Fucking Circle's up another 20% today. Can you believe that? Circle stock is up another 20% today in pre-markets. Let's see what actually happens on market open. But if that holds, then that means that Circle is now worth almost as much as Coinbase. And keep in mind that Coinbase owns like half of Circle's revenue. I don't even understand it, man. Doesn't make any sense. But markets don't make any sense. Markets are ridiculous. Anyway, Say had a beautiful rally the other day from 15 cents up to 23 cents. Hope finally came back in before market makers said, screw your Hope. Here's a kick in the balls instead. And back down to the 20-day EMA. Now, downtrend breakout here. A wick down to around 19 cents or, 18.5 cents. Fine. Lose that, then this is just a nice fake out. And it had volume too, man. That's the thing. That's the annoying thing. This had effing volume, man. But nope. Nope. And America decided to bomb Iran. There's that old song. Bomb, 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 bomb Iran. Bomb, 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 bomb Iran. There's this thing. What is it? Is either revelation of the method or predictive programming? It's what The Simpsons does. Simpsons is part of the dark cabal, whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati or the Shadow Overlords, the deep state, whatever. They just brag about all the shit they're going to do in The Simpsons, right? And then they do it later on. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, but they had that Top Gun movie where they, hit this secret, uranium enrichment facility or whatever. It's just all part of the programming, man. So when it happens in real life, nobody gets upset. Nobody panics. It's all part of the program. Anyway, let's see. I mean, look, my SEAB bags, surprisingly, pretty close to break even right now, which is nice. They're not break even down here, but pretty close to break even right now, which is fine. Obviously, the market paid attention to the story. Let's see if we can get any real follow through if the markets turn around again. Any slight sign of de-escalation will pump markets. Likewise, any signs of escalation, like the Iranians actually moving to enforce some kind of blockade in the Straits of Hormuz with warships, which would then necessitate the Americans to fire missiles to those warships, or they put sea mines out, or God knows what. It's all very, very problematic, and that's going to tank markets super fast. And altcoins are not going to hold up super well in that situation, okay? So we should all be praying for peace in the Middle East, not just because, peace is awesome and war sucks, but for our bags as well. While everyone was watching Iran, China dumped a ton of bonds that were bought up by the Cayman Islands. So America's buying its own bonds. Barry, nice to see you, man. Zapto's dead? No. Nope. It's getting hit, though. But this thing is these damn coins, man. Altcoins are just brutal right now, and there's no way to say, like, yay. Anyway. Been rough. Your altcoins will do well at some point in the future. That future is not today, though. Sebastian, good morning. Good morning. Not sleeping well recently. Yeah, I hope it's not just because of your bags, man. Take some magnesium. Try to not stare at your phone. Blue light's not good for you. Iran shouldn't have taken American hostage. It all goes way back, doesn't it, John? America overthrows their government. They have a revolution. They take some hostages, stage proxy war, send the Iraqis in to kill the Iranians, blow up some passenger airplanes. There's a lot of shit that's gone on over the years. It's very, 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 very complicated situation. Probably best not to focus on all negative news right now. You can definitely see a very headline-driven market right now. I think it's important to pay attention to the news and not to hyperventilate about it, not to panic about it, try to have some kind of rationality. Also watch the markets because, again, the fact that equity markets are basically at break even right now. I'll show you this here. So we're down now 0.13%. I have to dig into the news after we get off the stream here. I guess probably we're seeing some strikes on bases or something like that anyway. But this is nothing. This is nothing. Again, if the markets were really anticipating that some massive escalation was going to happen and that the Straits of Hormuz were going to close and there's going to be a nuclear war or something like this would be down 20% today or 10% or 5% or something like that. This is nothing. This is just intraday trading. Price of oil is up 1.2% of the day, which again, that is not screaming the Straits of Hormuz are going to be closed. If it was, this would be up 5 or 10% today. Again, a 10% move up sounds pretty dramatic. It only gets, oil up into the low 80 range, for example. 1%'s nothing crazy. So we need to keep an eye on the news. James from Invest Answer just swapped all of his SUI into SEA. There you go. I think SEA's got a great potential, man. Good lowish market cap. It's almost $1 billion. Or lowish market cap, good upside potential. Alts are just sleeping to wake up. He's not sleeping. He's dead. Wake him up. Wake. He's dead. Stop kicking him. Conspiracy turns out to be reality in the near future. It's amazing how much of that stuff has actually come to pass. I remember, mom telling me about all this stuff back in the late 90s, and then as you go throughout the 2000s, like, oh, it's all happening. It's all happening. Pepe, man, getting rinsed. Everything's getting rinsed, man. It's brutal. Brutal. Would you trade Link to Sol and advance the ETF? I mean, look, I've invested some money. I've moved some stuff into Solana. I think the ETF trade still is valid, but look, obviously we're doing a like-for-like trade. It's a bit of a higher market cap, right? But doing a sort of like-for-like trade, it's fine. Like, they're both going to go up, right? I think the Solana ETF trade, if it happens with, not World War III happening, then probably gets some bid. So I'm not saying that's what you should do, but I can understand the reasoning to, especially Link, man. Link's such a slow mover sometimes, despite all the bullish stuff going on. Yep, oil barely up, so no blockage priced in. Why isn't gun pumping too risky of an altcoin to pump right now? I'm down pretty bad on that bag. If any, man, if any gosh darn gaming coin's ever going to be successful, it's going to be that one. Yeah, Iran's threatened to close a straight 10 times, never halved. Yeah, last time it closed was 1972. It's been a while. It's been a while. The people who bother me the most when it comes to conspiracy theories are the ones who don't believe any of them could be true, more than the ones who believe every one of them. What's interesting is that is this whole cognitive dissonance thing, right? You bring up these things that counter people's beliefs. I had a buddy in university, and he just Tower 7. This stream's getting demonetized anyway. Tower 7 didn't just the second it just shut down, walked away. Didn't want to hear it because it goes that if he accepts or even wants to have the conversation about it, it calls into question so many of his life beliefs. Anyway, we're going off the rabbit hole here. We're going down the rabbit hole here, guys. Lark, are we going to get anything close to altcoin ETFs to push volume into them to begin an altcoin run? Well, this has been my thought, Harsh, is that we will see these altcoin ETFs bring a lot of liquidity specifically into the altcoin market. Bitcoin obviously benefited massively. Ethereum hasn't so much, and it has had a similar level of flows. Obviously, MicroStrategy and Sailor have had huge bid, and that's been a big part of it. Now we have SBET and other ETH treasury companies, so that can do well too. But I think when we start getting XRP, Litecoin, Solana, ETF, stuff like this, that can bring a lot of money to the altcoin market, which is not going to necessarily benefit all the altcoins, but brings in enough liquidity that it benefits enough altcoins, let's say. They won't close a straight. 80% of the trade is with mostly Asian countries. Yeah, it's just cutting off your nose to spite your face, I guess. When I finally sell this crypto, I'm never coming back. Way better to invest. Way better ways to invest my money. Screw this, man. I feel you, man. I feel you. I know. Just look at stocks recently. I've been holding all these damn AVAX, man. Think about AVAX. Fuck. I should just sell it for Solana, shouldn't I? I just say now it's the metrics and the on-chain metrics are picking up so much, but the price doesn't do anything, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about because I could have taken that AVAX money, which is around break even right now, and put it in literally anything else. Maybe I could have put it in fucking bonds and made more money. That's the state of things, man. I should have been in bonds instead of AVAX. Yeah. And, I thought, okay, well, AVAX will get bid. Look at Solana going. It's going to get bid. All stuff's happening. Nothing. Crickets. Stocks. Could have put it in NVIDIA. Could have put it in Tesla. Could have put it in a million things. It would have made more money. I feel you, man. I understand where you're coming from. The flip side is this kind of extreme pessimistic sentiment and the sort of nihilism that we've seen with meme coins and stuff like that is probably showing that we're getting closer to a low on all this stuff versus, it being completely over forever and everything going down forever. Let's see. let's see. I still think there's huge potential for altcoins, but you have to be a lot more selective and accept the reality that some of this stuff is just going to have its moments in the sun and then never come back again. So it's been a trader's market more than an investor's market. Most of these altcoins are uninvestable most of the time, unfortunately, and that's kind of the reality. What do you think about LimeWire's token LMWR? Pretty nostalgic thing. It might perform really well once retail comes in. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see it catching some bid. And of course, all the AI stuff they've been doing is pretty smart. So it's an interesting idea they did, buying the LimeWire brand and turning it into like an AI token and stuff like that. So look, obviously uphill battle for AI tokens to catch that bid, but I think that they, sure, why not? They could have some decent potential in the markets turn around. But any altcoin, whether it's this or basically anything else, is going to have a hard time when markets are struggling because of geopolitical tensions. Hey, don't forget, in case you guys forgot, we are 2 weeks away from the 90-day expiry date for the tariff shit. Where are all the deals at, Don? You got the UK so far. Good job. What about the other 200 countries in the world? Ori, altcoin ETFs approved, tariffs resolved, Middle Eastern tensions resolved, US rate cuts, world peace, alt gigapump utopia. This is the vibe we need. Yes. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Oh, yeah. My portfolio is full of shoulda, woulda, couldas. AVAX has great metrics. Developers need to get used to it, and it'll boom after that. Sol is more native right now. It doesn't mean that AVAX doesn't have potential. Again, that's the reason I hold on to my AVAX. I feel like it has the potential, but the price keeps proving me wrong. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Don't let them shake you out. It's Blood in the Streets. Time to buy more. Catch you later. Peace out, David. I think it's actually time for me to peace out too. I'll buy your AVAX because as soon as you do a rocket up, probably. Supposed to be rich, meanwhile Trump's messing everything up. I'd have to bomb Iran. Yeah. Anyway, let's pray for world peace, guys. What the fuck? Come on. Can we not have more war? We'll be back tomorrow. Next live stream. You guys are awesome. Got a great video coming tonight, by the way, on rate cuts. Very interesting. Very, very interesting, actually. I hope you guys watch that. Super cool. Thanks so much for watching today. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you back tomorrow for more fun and adventures. Peace.